We begin with some breaking news out of Turkey, where police have detained two leaders of the PKK-linked People's Democratic Party, also known as the HDP party. Figen Yüksekdağ and Selahattin Demirtas are the current co-leaders of the party. They were detained as part of an ongoing counter-terrorism investigation. Turkish security sources said early on Friday that 8 other MPs have also been detained. Let's get a little more detail on what we know. So Figen Yüksekdağ was taken into custody at her residence in Ankara for failing to comply with a summons for her testimony into an investigation. Selahattin Demirtas was also detained at his residence in Diyarbakir. Turkey accuses the HDP of links to the Kurdish militant group, the PKK, which is deemed a terrorist organization by Turkey, the United States and the European Union. Yüksekdağ and Demirtas face prosecution under anti-terrorism laws after their parliamentary immunity was lifted earlier this year. 8 other lawmakers from the HDP party are also facing charges. Let's try and get a little more on this. We're joined by Rasul Sadash, managing editor of TRT World. Rasul, why have these people been detained?
Well, actually, it is these people have been detained for contempt of the court and for not complying with summons to provide testimony in a terrorism investigation. So 5 offices of the chief prosecutor actually has summoned these people to provide their testimony because there have been accusations related to the inciting the violence or promoting the violence. One of them happened actually about in 2014. Selahattin Demirtas, one of the co-chairs of the party, that called the people with solidarity with PYD, which is the PKK's Syrian offshoot. And you know, PKK is a designated terror organization by Turkey, by the United States, and by European Union as well. So based on that call, 57 people have been killed through the streets. So after that event, the court has summoned Selahattin Demirtas to provide his testimony. And Figen Yüksekdağ, the other co-chairs of the party, also actually the court has ruled about her convicting Yüksekdağ on charge of terror propaganda after she attended and delivered a speech at the funeral of one of the Marxist-Leninist Communist Party militants. And beside that, they attended some of the funerals of the suicide attackers. And the recent one was the suicide attack that happened in Ankara and killed 29 civilians. So since these members of that party, PKK-linked HDP party, attended that funerals as well, that funerals of the suicide attackers that actually killed civilians. So it is a universal law. If you're summoned by the office of the chief prosecutor, you're supposed to go and provide your testimony. If you do not go, that is the case of contempt of the court. So that's why these people have been detained, have been taken by the police to provide their testimony. So this is not having any connection with the July 15th coup attempt. This does not have any connection with state of emergency, and it is not a process that has been initiated by the government, because this decision has been taken based on the judicial process. So it is not a security process, but it is a judicial process.
But just to be clear, Selahattin Demirtas recently said that if his party was proven to have ties with the PKK group, he would actually resign. Is it fair to say that they are saying that they have no connections?
Yeah, look, that is the dilemma. So that will be a legitimate question to ask that. Think of a country like USA or France or UK that actually have witnessed the terror attacks. will that make sense that one of the congressmen in the US say attending the funeral of a suicide attackers of 9/11? Or would any of MP in in Parliament in France, would they attend the funeral of a suicide attackers that has killed more than 100 people in France? So in this country, this happened. If they do not have any relationship or any connection with the PKK, so why the MPs of these parties are attending the funeral of the suicide attackers that has killed almost about 30 people, 30 civilians? So that is one of the basic evidence. This is basic rule. You do not attend the funeral of a suicide attackers that has killed about 30 people. So that is actually, that's why it's a dilemma. So it's a rhetoric, but on the other hand, actually the judicial bodies, the legislative bodies, they look at the evidences, not just the rhetorics or not just the statements.
Okay, Rasul, many thanks for talking us through this developing story. We can get a little more. We can join Abdurrahman Kurt, who is an advocate for Turkey's Kurdish peace process. He joins me on the phone. Abdurrahman, good of you to join us. What exactly are you hearing about what has happened, and what has your response been?
Yeah, as you know, these are all the consequences of abusing the peace process and abusing, not promoting, but abusing the peace process for establishing PKK's hegemony on the Kurdish society. So we lost a very big chance, which is really very important, between Turks and Kurds, a historical chance which we didn't see about 100 years. But losing of that peace process, we are facing these kind of judiciary processes, as we know. They are being accused for promoting PKK, which is terrorist organization, PKK's violations, and not trying to prevent these kind of violations on the Kurdish society. As you know, while the peace process was going on, PKK was oppressing the Kurdish society. They were taking illegal taxes from the societies. They were established illegal courts and lots of things. But HDP, which is close to their political base, was not trying to prevent this kind of illegal and crazy policy of politics of PKK, and they were just promoting the establishing of hegemony, which was going on by PKK on the Kurdish society. So these kind of judiciary processes are going on after the collapsing of this peace process.
Okay, Abdurrahman Kurt, many thanks for your time. Abdurrahman, advocate for Turkey's Kurdish peace process.